Good morning. Hello, Mr. Miller here. Instructional video number 1, humorous solo acting. This event, as implied by its name, is one person trying to be funny. And so let me explain some of the details about this. Now, first of all, HIs are high energy, generally. And they have multiple characters. So you can expect students to have anywhere from 3 to 8 characters, pretty common. And so when you're judging it, that's one of the main issues to actually look at is these characters. How crisp or individual are they? Okay, for example, when I was a freshman, I had this little piece where I played Igor and Count Dracula. And so Igor was bent over like this. And Count Dracula stood up straight like this. He had a cape. Ooh. And so it was very easy for the judge to tell which character was which because of how I was hunched over versus standing up straight. My voice was different. My face was different. Down here, Igor's face was really big. Count Dracula's face was squinted. Igor had a high voice. Count Dracula had a low voice. So you want to see, okay, you're doing 5 characters. How clearly defined are these 5 characters? Are they sharp? Are they individual? Okay, the more individual they are, the better. Also, the transitions, what we call a pop, they need to pop, which means they need to be sharp. So when they switch, if you have a character who's open and then closed, they need a boom, 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 right? It needs to be sharp and quick. They can't go from, okay, sloppy. Basically, I guess the word is it needs to be sharp and not sloppy. And so if they switch, another common problem you need to watch for when they transition is if I'm like this, and then I switch, I can't be switching while I'm still talking. So I can't go, how are you today, Igor? Well, why would Count Dracula be bending over? Count Dracula would stand up, how are you today, Igor? Oh, master. Okay, so what I tell the kids and what you ought to be looking for is when they transition, they need to transition, set the face, set the body for a split second, and then that character starts talking. Okay? So it's very sharp, very crisp, very easy to follow which character's talking. Okay? It also needs to be funny. That finding a good script for HI is very tough because humor varies so much from person to person, and what some people find is funny, other people don't. And so, if you see a piece that's extremely well done that's not quite as funny to you, and it's like, yeah, they did it really well, but it's not so funny, you gotta keep that in mind and give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? Another thing that people are going for these days, it seems like, is do these characters develop any? Is there a lesson learned? Okay, and sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't. I don't put nearly as much stock in that as how crisp are the character changes and how good are the facial expressions and how good are the voices. When I judge, I'm really looking for how well did they make those characters. And that's what I would recommend you look for, is just how sharp are the characters, their voices, their facial expressions. And if you got a character who does this, and then their next character is, it's like, well, those two characters are so close together, they're really not distinguishing. And so I would count off for that. So, hope this helps, and that's the HI video. Thanks.